Authenticity is the new black. There is no way to survive in this world, not even in the business world, if you are not authentic. If you want to become the best version of yourself, you have to let yourself work with what you have right now. If you resist the struggle, if you resist where you are right now, it's really hard to step into your potential. You're just gonna stay in the struggle. Okay, let's move on. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Nicole, a life and business coach for high-functioning women. I'm a self-proclaimed foodie, content creator, educator, and your new abundance bestie. In my world, we talk about all things to do with elevating your life. I post weekly videos helping the everyday woman embody her highest self, create inner wealth, master her mindset, unlock her femininity, and be an absolute boss in life. I create resources, trainings, and host experiences online and in person in order to help you reconnect to your true self. Not the one you think you need to be, but the you that you were born to be. So you can reclaim your power and amplify your voice to lead, love, and create as a woman. If you like my vibe and you want a little bit more abundance in your life, hit subscribe to be notified whenever I drop a new episode. And be sure to check out the free resources in the description below. To create as an expression of who I am in this moment of time rather than as a vehicle to earn some form of approval, love, or acceptance. Ooh, I'm impressed by my own writing. To be consistent is not my goal anymore if it is going to compromise depth, quality, and personal connections. So this is more around being a creator or creation. So I'm obviously talking about content creation here because I create content, but I have to unlearn, you have to unlearn if you want to become your best self, this need to create, to earn, or to track a metric. Because if that's your sole reason for creating, you're not going to be able to sustain it. If you're creating as a snapshot of your expression of who you are in this moment, and you release any need for it to be any other way than it is now, then that is so much more authentic and genuine. And that's going to really, really help you to find your flow and to not spend so much energy creating and draining. Sometimes creating can feel so exhaustive because we're focused on producing a certain thing that's going to have a certain outcome in terms of metrics and function. But what if you just create to express? And what if that was how you create a deep trust and vulnerability and connection with people? What if that was the best sales strategy that you could ever apply? What if you didn't need a branding strategy or more personal content and all of the curation that you could think of? What if all you need to do was just practice creating to express rather than creating to achieve a certain outcome? Another thing, and this is the final few, is to discover other parts of yourself, like re-meeting yourself, and to be genuinely curious and intrigued by your own quirks and qualities. To become the best version of yourself, you need to be the apple of your own eye. You need to adore yourself again and be a curious lover of who you are, unconditionally and curiously exploring your own self and championing yourself through every chapter of your life. I am a poet. Have I not said that before? I am a poet, you guys. I love to write. That is a testament. But that is self-explanatory. I feel like I don't need to explain that some more. We need to learn how to love ourselves beyond just, oh, I love myself, self-love, self-care. No. This is love that is, I adore you. To be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you are the apple of my eye. I am so for you. I am cheering you on. I'm so curious about you. I'm intrigued by you. I'm so in love with you. We need to have this kind of mentality, just like when you're dating someone for the first time and you realize like you actually am so curious and excited about them. You get to have this dynamic relationship with yourself all the time. And if you keep that relationship with yourself, you take yourself out. When you're going through a hard day, you sit yourself down and you go, what's going on? Tell me about it. And if there's qualities or emotions that you feel, going at it from a place of, oh, I'm curious, why was that your reaction? Or I'm intrigued by this new hobby you're exploring. Tell me why it helps you. This is why journaling is so important, because it helps you reflect. It helps you really get to know yourself. And I believe the people who really know themselves the most are the ones who can influence the most. They're the people who know how to connect with people the best, because they know themselves. They know what humanity is like because they know themselves. And Best way to understand yourself is through self-reflection, whether through verbal, visual, or writing it down. The next one is if you want to become the best version of yourself, you need to not react to life or to pressure. Don't produce something, don't do anything because you're reacting. Always choose to do things because you intend to. The power of intention will change your life. I want you to ask yourself every time you're about to make a decision, whether it's to scratch your nose, to open your phone, to go out the door, to say yes to a party, anything you do, did you make that decision or are you reacting to stimulus? Whether it was something someone said, something that you saw on social media, a thought that you had, a memory, a feeling, or did you choose it? Practice that, it will change your life. Learn to live your life 90% of the time from intentional living, where you initiate the action. You're not reacting. You're not like you saw something and now you need to catch up, or you saw a good content post so now you need to do one just like it. Choose with intention and don't do it unless you intended to do it. You don't always need to be working. You don't always need to be playing the role of the script that says you have to do it this way. You're always feeling this way. You're always tired. You're always going to this place after work. You can change that script. You can rewrite that narrative. And how you do that is by moment to moment, giving yourself the permission to set an intention, to intend something, and then to follow through on that intention, rather than living reactively and responding to everything that triggers you. Third last thing is you're going to need to learn to choose your state mindfully and to live with passion. Don't just fall helpless to habitual states of thinking and feeling. You need to willfully, decisively, energetically take control of everything that you are doing. And I know this leads off of the previous point, but this one is really emphasizing living with passion. A lot of us are like, I don't know why I'm so sad all the time. Or I'm so confused about my career. I never know what I want to do. You're incanting these things to life. Every time you say, I don't know what I want to do. I'm so tired. How are you? I'm tired. You're literally affirming this. You're literally incanting it into your reality. Your mind will obey because it doesn't want to make you wrong. I teach this in vision boards. Your mind will obey what you tell it to. Whether you're conscious about it or unconscious, it's still going to obey. You're going to need to choose to live every single moment of your life with passion. You're going to need to change the way that you see your reality as I'm a victim, I'm helpless, to I get to change the story. If I don't like my mood right now, in an instant, in a heartbeat, I can change my state. I know it sounds easier said than done, and I get it, but this is where it's practice, it's discipline. It's what every hero or athlete has had to do when something was demanded of them. They had to pull from within themselves and draw it out and change state. Just like that, you and I have the ability to do it, right? It begins with our moment-to-moment decisions, like I said in the previous point. If you want a how-to and a step-by-step journaling guide to explore how to get yourself from victimhood state to actually an empowering state, I actually did a whole episode on this exact topic, and you can go check that out on my podcast. I'm going to link that as well in the description box below. That episode is really helpful because I actually talk you through the steps of how to get yourself out of victimhood and into being a creator of your life. Second last thing is learn how to be alone and not lonely, to love and thrive in your own company. See, a lot of us wither away when we are in our own company. We literally fall apart when we are left to our own devices, which I get, but I want you to expand the threshold of being alone. Even if it's 1 minute at first, being alone and genuinely loving it, genuinely being energized every time you're alone. And then 2 minutes, then 3 minutes. And it might be as simple as starting with like taking yourself out on a coffee date and making that a goal for a couple of months. And that may be already a massive step for you if you've never taken yourself out anywhere, or you're not used to spending time in your own company. Another way to do this is if you switch off all devices. Stop turning to media, even like reading, podcasts. Stop turning to stimulus to fill your mind when you can choose silence. Again, it's super uncomfortable, but if you want to become your best self, you're going to need to know how to be alone and to not feel lonely, because who are the greats and what do? They always retreat on their own. What do you think they do in their own time? They talk to themselves. They sit and bask in their own goodness, their own ideas, their own self-love and appreciation. They are able to sit with themselves and not need another person. That doesn't mean you don't need other people, because that's my final point. You're going to need to have a community. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's fire trucks or ambulances outside. Anyway, we're gonna keep going on. But we're gonna need to learn to be by ourselves and to love being in our own company. In addition to that, where is this? I think it's gonna drive by. There it is. The last point, we're gonna need to love our own company, and we're gonna need to also learn to lean on community. And that's my final point. If you want to become your best self, you're going to need to not live like a hermit, because there's a difference between loving your own company and actually growing from it so that you can go out back into the world and be in community, to actually just being a hermit and always staying in your own company but hating being around other people. I know that in times of healing, especially deep healing, you're going to want to retreat, and that is okay. But I think there's so much beauty in having community around you and learning to depend on them, especially if you're a high functioning girly, especially if you're like me, who didn't ask for help for a long time, who didn't know how to ask for help because you weren't taught to ask for help. You were taught to be independent and you were taught to do it all on your own and figure it out. But there's something so powerful when you reach out to a community, or when you actually find a community that sees you, supports you, validates you, and wants the best for you. That is a space that you will thrive. And this is why mentorship circles, or having some sort of close-knit group that isn't just there because it's convenient, like they're your workmates or they're your school friends, but people that you choose, who are your people, to hold you to a certain standard, to push you, to equip you, to challenge you, to be there when you're at your worst and at your best. These are the circles that you need in your life. And if you don't have that and you are a woman, come join the I Am Her collective, because that is where it is at. That is why I started this whole community, because I didn't have women around me who wanted the best for me. And also, all the communities were paid communities, and I just wanted space where I could just feel it out and receive support and receive unconditional love and have a safe space to go to every week, every month, every day, without needing to worry about money. And that's why this community is what it is, and it's so incredible, so supportive, and there's women from all around the world who are going through what you're going through. You never would have met had it not been for the power of the internet. And so use this opportunity. If you don't have people around you, lean on the community that is here for you. And I want to personally invite you to that space if you're feeling that you are learning how to become your best self, and also how to have a community and actually be supported by them. Because I get it, we all have this need to be independent and to prove it to the world, to ourselves, that we can do it. But you're not made to live in a vacuum, you're made to live in community, and you are a social being at the end of the day. So part of this work of becoming her, the ultimate expression of who you are, unlocking your truest potential as a woman, is learning how to do all of these things that I shared, the most part, to learn how to relax into your being, to accept yourself as enough, and to allow others to unconditionally accept you, and to actually openly receive their love, their praise, their support, and acceptance without guilt or shame or embarrassment or downplaying it. Because you deserve to be in the spotlight, you deserve to be praised. And some of us, just like me, didn't really get that growing up, and so now we're learning to recreate it within ourselves and also with the community that we choose to surround us. So my loves, I hope this video helped you, and I hope that this inspired you to live your best life now, to become her now. I'm gonna sneeze. If you are someone who wants to be part of the journey of becoming your best self, I've released a brand new workshop called the Becoming Her workshop, and I share with you 4 steps that you need to take to become your best self. This is my proven formula and the framework that I teach my clients, and it's available to you on workshop now. So if you want to find out more about it, you can sign up with the link in the description below and read about what's in the workshop. Otherwise, I'll see you inside the I Am Her collective and in my next video. If you want to take your abundance to another level, I want to help you. I'm a life and business coach for women who want to step into their next level by activating wealth from the inside out. To help you take your first step to unlocking true abundance and your aligned potential, I'm giving you free resources, workshops, and masterclasses that you can access on demand right now. Check out www.nicoleconception.co/free-resources to get your hands on it. For more videos like this, check out the other playlists and series I have on this channel, and don't forget to hit subscribe to be notified whenever I drop a new video. And if you're more of the podcast type, check out Freedom in Flow, where I dive even deeper into the concepts that will help you create less hustle and more flow, abundance, and alignment in your life and business. Now, if you're a reader, you'll want to subscribe to my email list for unfiltered, honest, and most importantly, applicable life upgrades. Now, don't be a stranger. Connect with me on Instagram and TikTok and send me a message. I love getting to know you and your story. It's why I do this. Okay, my lovely, that's all for now. I'll see you soon. Signing off, Nicole.